I'm Sean V, and here's a video clip of Bobby Hemmitt discussing isolation and solitude, as well as some reference from the book Fire and Ice, Stephen E. Flowers, The History, Structure, and Rituals of Germany's Most Influential Modern Magical Order, the Brotherhood of Saturn. Tune in.
This is in a book called Fire and Ice, Stephen E. Powers, PhD. Historical structure of the rites of Germany's most influential and modern magical order of the Brotherhood of Saturn. Brotherhood of Saturn and all. And also that was that whole thing, but Hitler was hooked up into that. But I want to read something to you here. And this is the point what we're saying we have to get to this particular level. When we talking, so we're talking about solitude. Solitude is not locking yourself up in a house. Solitude is a mental condition that you have to try to tune yourself in, whereas you can be in the crowd and be a million years away from the crowd. And so it says, okay, the cultivation of solitude is a primary task of the Saturnian brother, and Saturn, which means the black brother, because Saturn is called the black planet. So it says, as the initiate is chosen the pathway to higher knowledge through the Saturn phase, it has naturally to isolate himself from the masses of humanity. The isolation also is not only are you going to be everywhere the masses are you going to be, but not only that, you don't have to shut yourself in the house like a hermit, but we're talking about a doggone attitude. So as we're not telling you to be better than your people you grew up with, you don't want to deal with them now because you consciousness. Isolation and solitude is also a certain spiritual awareness that you're going to deal with and all. And so it says, so you isolate yourself from the masses of humanity. By doing so, it liberates oneself. It liberates oneself from a vast number of influences of the masses. The influences that are detrimental to the initiatory process, which means these influences. So we're talking about isolating yourself mentally and some of that physically too. You see what I'm saying? The initiate's need for spiritual development as humanity becomes less and less his progress. Excuse me, let me read this again. Like I said, I got to slow myself down when I'm reading. I have to slow myself down because I'll be going faster than the thing. Because sometimes, like I say, I'll add in words that ain't even there and shit, just to make it sound good. Okay. It says the initiate's need for spirituality undifferentiated from humanity becomes less and less as the process accelerates, which it means is some of you actually need to be in the in crowd, because that's that lower nature. You radiating off that, and once you radiating off that lower nature, you got defeated by doggone appealing to somebody or making yourself look like something. You care how you look in front of people. You understand what I'm saying? So that the way a person feels about you is more important than you raising yourself up, and that's the problem we got. You see. So it says. Now, it says, so despite his solitude, and more because of the point of it, he is happy and happy and a self-contained individual because he stands more and more outside the standards of common human measurements, evaluations. You see what I'm saying? The initiate is not only able to overcome a perfect serenity of all difficulties that might arise in his life, but also put behind him all doctrines of dogma, of outmoded religions, and of the masses, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, etc. Now we're not talking about you can't read the scriptures. It's the difference between reading the scriptures of the Quran and these type things and interpreting it spiritually, interpreted it spiritually. I'm going too fast. I need to drink some water. Because it ain't like I can't talk. And then to go to a particular organized type of form of fundamentalistic religion. You see, and that's what we got to get out of, the organization of the way you take this particular stuff. Basically, like I say, anybody that's actually teaching you and not giving you the knowledge, so you say, well, I tell you yourself, I'm going to give you the book, so you go read it yourself. Anybody that's teaching you some things and not giving you the original way he got it from, and basically you looking to that person, you are only limited based on where that person is going to take your ass. You see what I'm saying? So it also says here that if the solitude is a joyous one, it says, also it says because this particular brother, he stands outside of the society, and it says because he's not necessarily ruled by fashion, ruled by what you call the in crowd, or ruled by what you call the actual faddish phrase, by us being a faddish type person. So now it's key now that you have to become solitude in what you do, not necessarily saying I'm not going to be out. You got to do what you got to do, but this is the key right now, because now you're dealing with not only two different Americas, black and white, but now you're dealing with dead and alive. And the dead is vampires that will suck your energy. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to be around dead people now. It just really sucks your energy. You see, all for one reason, because you know something, you want bad to tell that person something, but you know that the person just it don't want to hear it, and because you know they don't want to hear it, you say, well, what the hell? So it's almost sucking your actual energy.
Feel free to comment, like, or share your thoughts on what Bobby Hemmitt said in the video. I'm Sean V, and thanks for listening.
Sean V did it.